folks. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of the Honda Z50 build. And I had to think about that because I've got a couple of them going on. What do I do this time? Well, I start putting it back together and I think I get it halfway done. And then after this video, there'll be one more video where I finish the build and bring it to Rice-A-Rama. And I drive around on it and have a lot of fun. So, thank you for watching, and see you later. Okay, time to start putting things together. No place to start better than the wheels. Off of eBay, I think it was $140 for both. What's that? 70 bucks per wheel. There's two of these per wheel, so 35 bucks a piece. Not the greatest deal, but the worst. So I do have my climber manual. The very first thing I bought when I got back into fixing motorcycles was a Honda CT70, I think. Was it? I think so. And I got this book. So, stamped steel wheel, front assembly, except CT70. And then that is CT70. So here it is here. And I'm looking for like which side does the tube thing, the air thing come out. I guess it's on this side? I don't know. I have to go find the hardware. I bought new bolts and nuts to put the halves together. I did not buy new hardware to put through the hub. No. These are 3-bolt hubs. These are 4-bolt. Oh, fuck me, huh? So they're the exact same, except for that. Let's see. Well, it looks like I'm drilling new holes, huh? Shit. I don't know why I can't drill holes that are on center. Yeah, that's going to look great. Alright, 3 more times, 3 other ones. struggling to line up the 4 holes against the hub, and then the 4 holes that bolt the wheel together. Close, but how can I be that far off on that hole? I just had it lined up a second ago, and now it's not. Okay. Alright, put the shoes back on this hub. So, putting the better set in the front. I don't know which is which anymore, as far as when I took them off. See how I do this. Maybe I'll leave this arm thing off. I'm not sure about the orientation. Sometimes they have a dot. There's a dot on here. And usually there's a dot on the arm somewhere, but I don't see a dot on this one. So we'll leave that be for now. Finally. So get the wheel back together, new hardware, and there we go. So that can go in the front. And now I will go to the back, and I will not show that because it's the same thing I just did. Yeah, the engine came up pretty good, I think. Where's the covers? Yeah, can't really see it. There you go. Let's see. Yeah. It looks more like a Honda. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to unwrap this, and then all the paint stuff is back. Yeah, I think I wanted to show this guy. I'm not sure whether I showed the end product of what I was doing with the back shock things. I don't know what you call these, but this is basically like a rod welded through here, and it was loose down here, so I welded this. This is where the brake is, and then I welded in these like triangle things, and yeah, looks pretty good. I think good enough. Hopefully that'll give it some more support, because I think I showed like it was bent up a little bit, and I hammered it back, but it was bent up after years of people like me driving it. Shouldn't be driving it. So hopefully that'll hold the weight better. And then there's the stop. That came out pretty good. This is spray cans, by the way. The guy did spray cans, and then he clear coated it, and I think it looks good. Alright, so I think the next step, yeah, I got the wheels together, and I think the next step is I'm going to take the tape off the engine, and then I think I'll just take the frame and just kind of put it on the engine and mount it, rather than struggle to get it on later. Does that make sense? I know I'm going to have one issue, which is the front fender was hitting the top of the engine, because the engine's quite a bit larger. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. Either I'll have to trim the fender or try to find a way to move it forward a little bit. But I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. So anyway, right now I'm going to take the tape off of this. This looks a lot like Honda paint. It's actually one of the bikes I sold. The guy was wondering what I use. So this is VHT high temperature caliper paint. It is cast aluminum color. You know what, I was just about to put that on, and then I see the fork neck. So I got to put the VIN tag back on, and I have to put the steering stem races in, and that might require some pounding, so why don't I do that first. Alright, so here's the kit. See if it matches. So that goes on the very top. This, just put that right there. And here we go. Here's the bearings and the braces. Let's see what they gave us. So, yeah, so like as where the original one had all the different bearings, little ball bearings, this kit puts them in this keeper, makes it a lot easier to install it. And I think that I just have to put these races in. And then that's all. I think that's all I need to do right at the moment. See how bad this is going to be. Alright, so this has to go in there, and this one has to go up. And previously, putting these things in is such a pain in the ass to try and do it with a socket and a hammer, or even that wheel bearing installation set I went and I bought this Tusk steering stem bearing press. With the bearings and racers already removed from the motorcycle, clean the headset using contact cleaner and then apply some grease on both the inside and outside of the race. So it's the correct collect for your application. The collect should fit into the inside of the race as close as possible without being too big. Start the race into the headset using the included driving handle with the correct size collect, and pay extra attention to make sure it is going in evenly and straight. Slide the steering stem bearing press through the bottom of the headset. Slide the collect to the race and then install the handle. Figure 4. Make sure everything is lined up and begin pressing the race into the steering stem by tightening the handle. Make sure the race is seated completely and evenly in the headset. Use the quick release to quickly remove the bearing press and repeat the steps for the opposite side. Okay, well, I'm going to go try to figure that out because I haven't used this thing before, but I will show it once I get it set up. Going down, putting a hell of a lot of pressure on it though. Okay. No, it's going in cockeyed. So the problem with this fucking thing is that you need to, this bolt thing needs to be in the center, and I don't see how it centers itself. This doesn't have any kind of a cone on it. That should keep that centered. See, it's cockeyed. Okay, so we'll go ahead and can't be right that I have to put that much pressure on it. It should just kind of slide in, especially since I greased it. Yeah, that probably came from this. How do you keep this from gouging? Ah, come on. Fucking useless. This sucks. This thing sucks. I don't know what the fuck. Be better off with this. To smash it on with a mallet. I have this other one. Steering stem bearing installed. Take this thing and you smash it. This is the point where I'm going to flip out, so I'm just going to shut this off. Okay, got it in there. Alright, so I don't know if you can see here and here, two little holes that I'm going to put these tiny little rivets in. That will hold on the number plate, model plate. And I'm going to put a little bit of Right Stuff. I don't know that Right Stuff is the right stuff to use, but it'll work like an adhesive. Of course, I dropped it. And that one's bending. That one went in properly. Not sure what I can do with this one. Don't know why it bent. There we go. Okay. Enough. All right, so that was in my head. I was thinking, you know, that's 10 minutes of work. It was like an hour, maybe 45 minutes. Right. I cleaned this up previously. It is a newer bolt. Put this swing arm on. So I did overlook something. I didn't get little chrome acorn nuts. These are kind of a funny size, 10 with 1.25, 10 millimeter by 1.25 thread pitch. I do have the nuts I took off it. Looks like that's what I'm going to have to use for now. See if I can find those somewhere. Okay, so what's next? So I got a smaller sprocket for it. But if the smaller sprocket is not going to work, I do want the option of having the bigger sprocket. So I was thinking I would put the bigger sprocket on it first, measure out the chain that I got, cut it, because I don't think it's the proper length anyway. And then put the smaller sprocket on and see if there's enough adjustment to make it up to use the smaller sprocket without having to cut the chain again. So I think I'll work on that. So it looks like with this sprocket combo, I have the wheel pushed about as forward as it could possibly go. No, it's not going to go any further. And it looks like it's short, actually. Probably can mess with it and get it to fit, but good enough. So I'm going to put the smaller sprocket on, and then that should fit fine. I may not have to cut the chain. Nice new fender. Why don't I make life easier? O-rings on this tiny little chain. Pain in the ass. Alright. More O-rings. This thing kind of sucks. It's like there's O-rings, so you have to push them down really hard and try to get this thing in. On there or what? Yeah, there it is. Okay, good. Alright, just going to adjust that. And then maybe front forks. Alright, let's see. So this one goes like this. I'm trying to get the little notch to go into the right spot. There it is. Kinda. Close enough. Okay. Okay, so there's a C-clip here. Come on. What time is it? So I've been at it since about 6:30 this morning. It's 5:05. Spent the first 2 hours cleaning up my attic, hour and a half. That's in there. There we go. All right. Good. All right, what time is it? 5:15. All right, so I'm done. Pick it up tomorrow. So I had this clearance issue with the front fender. See here where it was rubbing, the old one. So I put some collars that I happen to have in that. I wasn't looking for them, but they were in that little box, that little tray over there. And it just barely clears. I think it's totally good enough. Okay. Yeah, I can even go like that. There we go. Looks good to me. Okay, now I'm done. Got some, I don't know what they're, magnesium or aluminum parts. These hold on the handlebars for the Z50. And I bought new bolts. Pretty beat up. I'm gonna use the roll lock on them. You can see like this is weathered. That screw is kind of rusty. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of polish this stuff up. Red roll lock. Alright, I gotta snake this wire down into these handlebars. So I've got this other wire, solid steel wire. Put it on here. So these are the handlebars that I welded. I don't know if I ever showed the finished product. If you look in the center, I don't know how well it's going to come out on camera, but you can tell, you know, it doesn't look quite right. But I think like no one's going to notice. Put that in the good enough category. I think I said I did order handlebars, but they were on order for like 3 weeks, and I asked, you know, hey, where are these things? And they said that they were on back order. Okay, so got that and that and this. Okay, put the throttle cable back in. Here's the throttle tube that was in it, and you can see here that it's not very long, and it's like mushy on the side, and for whatever reason I didn't like that. So for 12 cents or whatever it was, maybe 12 bucks, $15, I got one. It looks very similar. I think that's going to work. I have to find the screws that were in this. Not sure where they are.